Hello and welcome. In these lectures, we are going to talk about how to provision two VirtualBox as a base CentOS7 as an Ansible server, and second one as a same CentOS as a base OS installed by default install on Apache web server, which is HTTPD, and Ansible control servers will rename as the host Ansible control server, and IP address is 192.168.10.5, and Apache web servers host name web server 01, and IP address 192.168.10.6 with help of a Vagrant and VirtualBox. So in Windows 10. So this is the Vagrant file where we have mentioned the two blocks, one for Ansible control server where we are using the CentOS7 as a base box, and host name Ansible control server, and private network 192.168.10.5, and inline scripts we are running, you know. Um, yum update, yum install Ansible versions, and second box we are doing a web server, web 02, CentOS box, web server 01, network IP address 192.168.10.6, and yum update and install HTTPD. So just for making a video first, I have commented a sudo yum -y update in both options because that base OS I have the required dependency for installing the Apache Ansible and Apache as well. And I have created the directory clone app demo vagrant and all servers where I have a vagrant file and vagrant all. Let me go through that and see that. So this is my vagrant file, and if I'll open, you'll be able to see, and I have commented these ones for because it's taking bit long time while recording, and so for reducing the video size I have just commented it. But for you, I have uploaded this file in download section, so you can download it and place it where you want and just perform that command as required. And let me open the VirtualBox also. So if you'll see that VirtualBox, nothing is there at the moment, but after successfully running that in our command we will able to see. So let me open the command prompt. I am in that directory, and in that directory I have only one vagrant file, and let me go and type the vagrant up, and this is the command we are expecting, here, like in vagrant up. And here we go, we'll able to see both box will be provisions like in map. So let me put that in side by side for understanding that in. Yeah, so first box is starter provisioning, which is CentOS, and 20% already done, 40%, 70%, and here we go. Configurations is started. Port configurations is mapped by default. Port 22 is guest operating OS is redirecting to 2222 on host adapter, and inside all server Ansible control server is a starter provisioning. Now configuring the private key, which is by default Vagrant one. But make sure before starting these lectures you install that in Vagrant and VirtualBox first. Network configurations is done. You can see that in Vagrant file is directory is mapped now, and now Ansible command like in which is shell for visitors is started, so it will be installed that in this is the web server, so Apache will be installed. Okay, this is I'm sorry, this is Ansible server. Yeah, Python dependency required is install. All Ansible related dependency will be installed in that. And the server state is also changing in in our VirtualBox, if you'll see now. So earlier it was there like in powered stop, now it's like in running. And second server also start provisioning web server, which is we are talking 40% downloaded, 70 and 100% now. So now web server configurations also started. And now if you'll see that the port configurations, earlier it was there 2020, now we have a 2200s. So for 2200s, it will be redirect internally, and private key configurations is started, and it's also configured with I by default IP 127.0.0.1 clone 2200, which is 2200s port. So both server have a different port. One is 2020 and second one is 2200. Syncing the folder as a Vagrant by default directory and running provisioners. Trying to install that in software what we have configured like in HTTPD in these ones in web server, because we have included, and you can see the inline we have included the HTTPD -y, which is install that. And at here we go. So now both server is up and running, which is Ansible Ansible control server and web server, and we can see that in from VirtualBox. So now what we got so far, something like that we got it. One like in we provisioned that in one server with help of a Vagrant file, with help of a VirtualBox. Now our CentOS7 operating system provisions. On top of that, we install the Ansible. We'll see their host name and IP address. And second one again CentOS7 and Apache web server install. We'll see that in host and IP again later. So what I'm going to do for verifying purpose, we need to do something like that in SSH into one of the server and see that in their host name, and second one I will go and see that. So first options we have, we can ping that both server is reachable or not from local. From here we can ping it 5. Yeah, Ansible server is reachable, and web server also, yeah, both is reachable. So what we can do now, we can SSH directly into the server, but what we need a private key. So private key by default it will be created into that, and where you have a Vagrant file, just click on .vagrant, then go to machine, then Ansible control server, and then VirtualBox, and here we go, the private key for Ansible control server. Similarly, you will get that in uh, key for web server, and I have mentioned the path, that is a path where current directory, machine, Ansible control server, VirtualBox, and then private key. So let me SSH into that from my local PC. What I'll do, I'll perform from here and asking to add it. Let it be yes. And here we go. Ansible control server as the host name and IP address we know now. So this is the way. Second one we can perform. Let me exit from here and copy the command for web server. Okay, so already key is already there into that file. So what I have to do, I have to go to that in C, users, SSH key, and in here we'll have to remove that in SX. So let me remove that in both. If you are getting such errors, you can remove it directly. So let me go and do that in asking yes. Yeah, here you go. So now I'm in the web server, and so here we can see that in like in HTTP is there. Let me exit and we'll go in 5 yes, and we can see that in Ansible hyphen version, and similarly we can see that in web server as well. So our target was there from this video to just provision the two server and SSH from local while creating the private IP and their host name, private IP again their host name. But this is not the right way to use that in a private key in the command while SSH. So in next lectures we'll see how we are going to avoid that in this private key, passing the private key and accessing that without private key. So thanks for watching, and see that in next video for without private key.